Welcome to part 2 of our series on the mobility revolution, the conquest of land. Today, we're diving into how the Model T didn't just conquer roads, but fundamentally reshaped society. What started as a rich man's toy, accessible only to a select few, rapidly transformed into a global necessity. We'll explore the ingenious innovations and profound impacts that made this possible, as we trace the journey from luxury to ubiquity. Before the Model T, the world of transportation was defined by an era of constraints. On one hand, you had mass transport, primarily trains. They were efficient, moving large numbers of people and goods, but incredibly rigid, bound by rails and strict schedules. On the other end of the spectrum was artisan luxury, represented by early automobiles. These were flexible, offering personal freedom, but also broken handmade, incredibly expensive, and notoriously unreliable. The glaring gap in the market was clear. The world was waiting for personal mobility that wasn't just a luxury, but something accessible to everyone. And then, Henry Ford entered the scene. His vision was audacious, captured in his powerful declaration, "I will build a motor car for the great multitude." This wasn't just a business goal, it was a mission to destroy the barrier of wealth surrounding mobility. His target was crystal clear: a price point accessible to any man with a good salary. This required a fundamental shift in thinking, moving away from artisan manufacturing, where skilled craftsmen built each car by hand, to utilitarian engineering, focused on efficient, mass-produced practicality. The Model T, first launched in 1908, was a masterclass in utilitarian engineering. Its blueprint was rooted in practicality. Simplicity was paramount. It was designed to be repairable by a local blacksmith in any small town. It utilized cutting-edge vanadium steel, an alloy 3 times stronger than standard steel, yet lightweight. This combination of strength and lightness was revolutionary. Its high clearance was not an aesthetic choice but a necessity, allowing it to navigate the muddy, often impassable farm roads of the era. All this innovation, launched at a price of $850, a significant sum at the time, but already a step towards affordability. However, even with its groundbreaking design and ambitious price point, Ford quickly hit a production wall. Demand for the Model T was exponential, but the supply was linear, held back by traditional methods. It took a staggering 12.5 hours to build just one car. This was the craftsman method, where workers would bring parts to a stationary car, assembling it from start to finish. This process created a massive bottleneck, severely limiting Ford's ability to meet the burgeoning demand. The solution came from an unlikely inspiration: the slaughterhouse. Ford's engineers observed that in the meatpacking industry, the product moved while the worker stood still, specializing in one task. This sparked a pivotal idea: don't move the worker to the work, move the work to the worker. This insight transformed the disassembly line of meatpacking into the assembly line of manufacturing. It was a revolutionary concept that would change industrial production forever. And so, in 1913, the moving assembly line was born. This innovation brought 3 core principles: standardization, ensuring every part was identical and interchangeable; repetition, as workers performed the same task over and over; and flow, with the product moving continuously. The machine now set the pace, not the individual worker. This meant the end of the traditional craftsman, replaced by specialized roles. One man would tighten a specific bolt, another would fit a tire, each performing their task with total, relentless execution. It was efficiency redefined. The impact on production time was nothing short of miraculous, leading to what we call the collapse of cost. What once took 12 hours and 30 minutes to build a single car, plummeted to just 93 minutes. This exponential leap in efficiency meant Ford could now produce one car every 3 minutes. Linear production was transformed into exponential output, finally allowing supply to catch up with, and even exceed, demand. This surge in efficiency directly led to the democratization of price. From its launch price of $850, the Model T's cost steadily dropped. By 1912, it was $550, then $360, and eventually, a mere $260. Efficiency didn't just boost production, it drove down costs, making the Model T incredibly accessible. The car, once a symbol of luxury, was rapidly transforming into a household appliance, available to the average family. However, this relentless pace came at a significant human cost. The reality was that humans are not machines. The repetitive, demanding nature of assembly line work led to widespread physical and mental burnout. The statistics were stark: an annual turnover rate of 300%. Men were quitting as fast as they were hired. Ford faced a critical risk: a factory without workers is just a pile of metal. He had solved the production problem, but now he faced a dire labor crisis. Ford's solution was another revolutionary pivot: the $5 day. In 1914, Ford announced he would nearly double his workers' wages, from $2.34 to an unprecedented $5 a day. Simultaneously, he reduced the workday from 9 hours to 8. This bold move was based on a profound realization: retention is cheaper than training. By paying significantly higher wages and improving working conditions, Ford aimed to stabilize his workforce, reduce turnover, and attract the best talent. This $5 day initiative didn't just solve a labor problem, it began the process of creating the consumer class. Ford understood that workers are not just tools, they are potential customers. This sparked a virtuous economic cycle. Economies of scale led to high wages, which in turn allowed workers to buy Ford's products. This increased volume further fueled economies of scale, and at the heart of it, the burgeoning middle class emerged. Ford wasn't just building cars, he was building an economy. The widespread adoption of the Model T, and affordable cars in general, profoundly reshaped the landscape of America. It led to the creation of suburbs, as people could now live further from their workplaces in the city center. It spurred massive investment in infrastructure, leading to paved roads and an interconnected highway system. And it gave birth to an entirely new roadside culture: motels, diners, and gas stations popped up to serve the mobile population. The Model T didn't just provide transportation, it effectively invented the American lifestyle as we know it. In summary, the Model T revolution was monumental. With 15 million units sold, it delivered three core transformations. First, it pioneered mass production, a process that defined the entire 20th century, setting the standard for manufacturing efficiency. Second, it ignited mass consumption, creating the economic engine that built and sustained the middle class. And third, it brought personal liberty to the masses, achieving the total conquest of land mobility, empowering individuals with unprecedented freedom of movement. With the Model T, land mobility was effectively solved. But human ambition, as we know, knows no bounds. Our journey now turns to the next frontier, an even greater challenge. Join us next time as we explore the story of the Wright brothers and their incredible quest for the conquest of the sky. In Part 3, we'll delve into how gravity was defied, opening up yet another dimension of human mobility.